Hello everyone, it's me Sato again from Low Level Cosplay, and today we are back with the last and final part of the Vash Cosplay series, and in this one we're gonna make the remaining stuff for the Vash code. Yeah, and as usual, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more content like this, and without further ado, let's do it. So first thing we're gonna do in this part is the right back part. We begin by sewing these pieces together. After this is done, we put them aside for now and sew these two pieces together. As always, don't forget the top stitch. In the next step, I'm gonna attach the previously made parts to the side of it. Now that they are together, we sew this small strip onto the bottom of it. And after this is done, it will also get put aside for now. Here I'm sewing these two pieces together. A silver brim is added all around. And now I'm gonna attach it to the middle of this big piece. Now I sew this quarter circle on the bottom of the corner. The other corner is getting a part made out of all these pieces. After this is also done, I attach this long thick strip to the left side of it. For the following step, we can sew the previously made part to the bottom piece. The next step will be the kinda short jacket that will later go over the coat. I have already punched some eyelets into the top back part. And now we're gonna sew these two strips below it. Two bigger eyelets were also added. A polyester strip will be riveted in place because it would be kinda hard to reach it later. The next step is sewing these two big parts together in the middle and adding a silver brim to the bottom edge of it. Now we can attach the top back part on top of the bigger piece, but only on the red parts because the silver brim stays open. And here's how it should look so far. It is now time for the front face of it, and for this, these pieces get sewn together like shown. The same steps will be repeated for the other side as well, but with a bit different shaped parts. A small shoulder strip is added on each side with a pressure button. And now we can sew the front and the back together on the shoulder and the side. After this is done, an inner lining is added. For those who want to know how to make an inner lining, I made a separate video for it on this channel. The next big piece is the left arm, and to begin with it I sewed these two pieces to each side of it. After this is done, a kinda boomerang shaped piece is added to the top. And a thick strip is added to the bottom. Now we begin with the bigger right arm. For this, all these parts get sewn together to form a long strip. And then it gets put aside for now to put these two parts together. This box-shaped piece gets attached to the side. After this is done, this big weirdly shaped part gets sewn on to the left side. A few eyelets were also added here and there. Now we're gonna attach the self-made strip from before. The boomerang shaped part gets also sewn onto the top here, just like on the left arm. A strip gets attached to the bottom. Then I put some strips on top of it. A few were also added later on after the coat was finished. Now we begin working on the collar, and for this sew these three parts together. Also mirror and repeat the step for the other side. And then sew them together in the back. I also made an inner lining for it that will be sewn on. By the way, I added some additional eyelets with some strips. For the front collar piece, I sew these pieces together, and one big part was added to the back side. Each corner will get one of these buttons. It's finally time to put the coat together, and for this we start by sewing the two back pieces together up to the middle of it. After this is done, the front parts gets also sewn on up to a specific point. And this is how it looks so far. We can now attach the short jacket part to the front, around the neck and to the armholes. The next step will be the collar. After this is done, the arms gets also attached. A long red zipper gets sewn on in the front of the coat. This is the inner lining for the coat itself. The inner lining will also be sewn to the coat now. And here I'm figuring out the bottom spacing for the big front flap. These huge rivets gets attached to the back and the front to hold some strips that goes around the waist. From the first part of the video, the weirdly shaped piece will also finally be attached. By the way, a black wash was added to the whole coat. I made some patterns for the bullet holes from different sized circles. Here I'm gonna show you how you can make these cool holes. After drawing them on, they will be cut out smaller than they will be later. Now I use superglue to bond the outer side to the inner lining. When they are sticking finally together, I cut them out to the correct size. And this is how they look now. To add a nice and cool weathering effect around the holes, I use the airbrush with the black paint. Overall weathering with some brown and beige paint was added with the sponge to the bottom of the coat. holes in a few places were treated with some sandpaper. After the coat was finished, I have added some additional rivets and strips here and there. And it's now time for the final review.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.
So this was a tutorial. I know it's not good, but it's okay in my opinion. And if you want, you can leave a comment down below what you like, what you dislike, what I can improve on this channel, what you want to see in a future video. It's up to you. And yeah, maybe considering subscribing to this channel if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and until then, see you next time in the new video. Have a great day, and I'm out.